a former casino compliance officer just revealed the delay tactics casinos use to avoid paying jackpot winners. And what she learned could save you months of frustration and thousands in legal fees. Industry insiders confirm these 13 strategies are standard practice across major gambling destinations. Delay tactic. Number 1. The verification process stall. And when you hit a significant jackpot, the casino will immediately tell you they need to verify the win. Sounds reasonable, right? That's exactly what Sarah thought when she hit $47,000 on Wheel of Fortune at a major Las Vegas property. The slot attendant smiled, congratulated her, and explained they just needed to run through some standard verification procedures. 6 weeks later, Sarah was still waiting for her money. According to a former compliance officer who worked at 3 different casino properties, this delay is completely intentional. The verification process for a legitimate slot machine win should take approximately 4 to 6 hours maximum. Casino systems can confirm the machine functioned properly, cross-reference the random number generator logs, and validate the win within that time frame. But here's what these industry insiders reveal. For any jackpot over $10,000, casinos deliberately slow-walk the verification process. They'll claim they need additional technical reviews, that the machine logs require extra analysis, or that corporate headquarters must approve the payout. The psychological tactic is making you feel like you're being investigated. Like maybe you did something wrong, like perhaps the casino suspects some kind of fraud. Most winners become uncomfortable under this scrutiny and stop asking questions. But documentation from Gaming Commission complaints shows this is pure manipulation. The casino knows within hours whether your win is legitimate. Delay tactic number 2. The software malfunction claim. This is the casino's favorite excuse for any large win they don't want to pay. Frank hit $89,000 on Buffalo Gold at a tribal casino in Oklahoma. He celebrated, called his family, started planning how he'd use the money to pay off his mortgage. 3 days later, the casino called him back and said there was a problem. They claimed the machine had malfunctioned and the win was void. Every slot machine in America has a disclaimer that reads, "Malfunction voids all pays and plays," and casinos hide behind this language constantly. But here's what former slot technicians reveal. Gaming Commission reports show that only 2 to 3% of disputed wins actually involve legitimate software malfunctions. True malfunctions are extremely rare because modern slot machines undergo rigorous testing and continuous monitoring. But wait until you hear about delay tactic number 7, because the manipulation gets even worse. The casino knows your win is legitimate, but they invoke malfunction specifically for wins they consider too large relative to the machine's denomination. When you hit a 5-figure jackpot on a quarter machine, suddenly the casino discovers problems they claim require investigation. The moment they use the word malfunction, you need to take immediate action. Request a Gaming Commission investigation in writing. Like, hire a gaming attorney who specializes in casino disputes. Demand the complete machine log showing exactly what the alleged malfunction was. Former compliance officers admit casinos count on winners being intimidated by technical jargon and legal disclaimers. Most players hear the word malfunction and assume they have no recourse. But state gaming commissions can compel casinos to produce the technical evidence, and in the majority of cases, that evidence doesn't support the malfunction claim. If you think claiming malfunction is bad, wait until you hear about delay tactic number 7, because what I'm going to reveal about surveillance review will shock you. Delay tactic number 3, the paperwork problem. Delay. Suddenly your identification isn't sufficient. Your social security card has a discrepancy. Your tax forms are incomplete. Maria won $34,000 on Lightning Link at a Connecticut casino. She presented her driver's license, the same identification she'd used to get her player's club card 3 hours earlier. But now the casino claimed there was a problem. Her driver's license showed an address from 2 years ago, before she'd moved to a new apartment. The casino insisted they couldn't process her payout until she provided utility bills, a lease agreement, and updated government identification showing her current residence. This paperwork hunt took 11 days. According to former casino managers, these paperwork requirements mysteriously multiply in direct proportion to jackpot size. For wins under $1,200, you need nothing. The machine pays you directly, or a slot attendant hands you cash with minimal verification. But cross certain thresholds, and suddenly the casino discovers documentation problems that didn't exist when you were losing money. The psychology is creating bureaucratic exhaustion, making the process so frustrating that winners either accept partial payments just to end the ordeal or actually walk away from legitimate winnings. Technical regulations require specific documentation for wins over certain amounts because of federal reporting requirements. But casinos exploit these rules by demanding far more than the law requires. They'll request documents that have nothing to do with tax reporting. They'll claim your paperwork has discrepancies that don't actually exist. They'll send you home to get additional documents, then discover new problems when you return. The pattern is consistent across multiple properties and corporate casino chains. Before we get to the really shocking delay tactics, including the one about how casinos use your own banking information against you, I need to ask you to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. The casino industry doesn't want this information reaching players. And let me know in the comments, have you ever had a casino delay your payout? What reason did they give you? Your experience might help other viewers recognize these tactics. The way you fight the paperwork delay is bringing multiple forms of identification before you even start gambling. Carry your passport, driver's license, a utility bill, and your social security card. Have these documents ready the moment you hit a significant jackpot. When the casino can't claim paperwork problems, they have to move to their next delay strategy, which brings us to delay tactic number 4. Delay tactic number 4, the banking information trap. This is the tactic former casino managers say exploits your most sensitive personal information. And it works because winners feel they have no choice but to cooperate. When Jennifer hit $52,000 on dancing drums at a major Mississippi riverboat casino, she expected a check or wire transfer within days. Instead, the casino informed her that for wins over $10,000, they required complete banking verification before processing any payout. They needed her account number, routing number, 3 months of bank statements, and a letter from her financial institution confirming account ownership. Jennifer complied because she wanted her money and assumed this was standard procedure. It absolutely is not. Federal tax reporting requirements for casino wins above $1,200 require your social security number and basic identification. They do not require banking statements or financial institution letters. Casinos have no legal authority to demand this information, but they collect it anyway under the pretense of wire transfer verification. Here's what former compliance officers reveal. Your banking records tell them your financial situation. A winner with substantial savings represents someone with resources to pursue legal action. A winner living paycheck to paycheck represents someone who desperately needs money immediately and will accept a reduced settlement. Gaming Commission records show banking verification requests appear in 22% of delayed payouts between $25,000 and $100,000. In virtually none of these cases was the banking information legally required. The way you fight this is requesting the specific regulation requiring this documentation. When they cannot produce it, inform them you'll be filing a Gaming Commission complaint immediately. Delay tactic number 5, the tax withholding dispute. If the banking information trap didn't delay your payout, the casino has another financial manipulation ready. And this one exploits genuine confusion about tax law to make winners accept less than they're owed. Thomas won $68,000 on Wheel of Fortune at a commercial casino in Indiana. He understood he'd owe taxes and expected standard withholding before receiving his check. What he didn't expect was the casino claiming uncertainty about his withholding requirements that needed resolution before processing payment. The casino told Thomas they weren't sure whether he qualified for backup withholding at 24% or standard gambling, withholding at 30%, and that their accounting department needed to consult tax advisors before determining the correct amount. This review would take approximately 10 to 14 business days. Thomas waited 22 days before receiving payment. Here's what former casino financial officers reveal. The tax withholding calculation for gambling wins is not complicated. Federal law provides clear guidance on withholding situations for domestic players, and these calculations take minutes. Every casino has these calculations built into their standard processing systems already. The tactic escalates when casinos offer immediate payment if you waive withholding and accept full tax reporting responsibility yourself. Gaming attorneys warn this arrangement can create compliance problems you'll spend years resolving. Gaming Commission complaints show tax withholding disputes appear in 18% of delayed payouts over $50,000. In the overwhelming majority, the casino's accounting questions were resolved within hours once a Gaming Commission investigator made contact. The way you fight this is referencing IRS publication 515 and Form W2G instructions directly, demonstrating knowledge that typically makes their accounting questions resolve remarkably fast. Delay tactic number 6. The player card discrepancy stall. This delay tactic turns the loyalty program the casino used to encourage your gambling in the first place into a weapon against receiving your payout. And it's particularly manipulative because it makes you feel personally responsible. Angela had been a rewards member for 7 years when she hit $41,000 on Buffalo Gold at a regional Ohio property. When she won, the slot attendant swiped her card, congratulated her, and called for a supervisor. 40 minutes later, management informed Angela there was a discrepancy in her player account, requiring resolution before processing her jackpot. Her account showed 2 addresses, her current residence and an address from 5 years earlier. They claimed this triggered a mandatory compliance review. Angela's payout was delayed 16 days. Former casino loyalty program managers explain exactly what's happening during these account reviews. Modern player tracking systems maintain complete histories of every visit and every personal detail update instantly. There is no technical reason why an old address discrepancy prevents a jackpot payment today. The casino is manufacturing a compliance problem their own system created by never requiring members to update information. The psychological manipulation works because an account discrepancy sounds like something you did intentionally, perhaps even fraud. The casino's language implies investigation rather than routine administration, making winners feel defensive rather than assertive about their rights. Gaming attorneys report player card discrepancies appear in 17% of delayed regional casino payouts, almost universally involving information. The casino's own system failed to update despite having current contact details from recent visits. The way you fight this is requesting a complete printout of your player account history immediately, which typically confirms the casino already had your current information and cannot legally justify delaying your verified jackpot payment. Delay tactic number 7. The exclusion list check stall. This is the delay tactic I promised would shock you, and here's why it's so insidious. The casino suddenly claims they need to verify you're not on any self-exclusion lists or banned player databases. Think about how absurd this is. The casino already verified you weren't excluded when they allowed you to walk through the door, when they issued you a player's card, when they served you cocktails, when they let you sit at their slot machines for hours. But the moment you win, suddenly this verification becomes necessary. Marcus won $43,000 on a progressive Dragon Link machine at a property in Atlantic City. The casino congratulated him, had him fill out preliminary paperwork, then informed him they needed to check exclusion databases before processing his payment. 19 days later, Marcus finally received his money. A former surveillance director who worked at multiple properties admits this is a pure stall tactic used for wins. The casino considers suspicious, which apparently means any substantial win they don't want to pay. The technical truth is that exclusion checks are completely computerized and take approximately 30 seconds. These databases are maintained by state gaming commissions, and casino systems can query them instantly. So what's really happening during these 19 days? The casino is reviewing every second of surveillance footage from your entire visit, looking for any policy violation they can use to void your payout. Did you let someone else press the spin button, even as a joke? Did you step away from your machine for 3 minutes while it had credits on it? Did another person sit in your chair briefly while you went to the restroom? The casino is searching for any technical rule violation they can weaponize. Gaming Commission complaints show this exclusion verification excuse appears in 12% of delayed payouts over $50,000. And in nearly every case, the player was never on any exclusion list. The delay has nothing to do with database checks and everything to do with surveillance review. And speaking of casinos reviewing footage, delay tactic number 8 takes surveillance to a disturbing level. Delay tactic number 8, the advantage play investigation. The casino accuses you of advantage play or collusion, terms that sound serious and criminal, even when they're completely baseless. Rebecca and her sister were visiting from California, playing linked progressive machines at a Las Vegas strip property. They were sitting next to each other, celebrating together, doing what normal family members do when gambling. When they hit $67,000 on their progressive bank, casino security immediately separated them for questioning. The casino claimed they were signaling each other, coordinating their play, engaged in some kind of advantage play scheme. The payment was delayed 23 days while the casino investigated this absurd accusation. Here's what you need to understand about advantage play. Real advantage play refers to techniques like card counting in blackjack or edge sorting in baccarat, ice strategies that give players a mathematical edge over the house. But you cannot gain an advantage on slot machines. These are pure random number generator devices. There is no skill component, no way to predict outcomes, no method to influence results. But casinos deliberately use advantage play accusations for any win where multiple people were present, where friends were celebrating together, where family members were playing near each other. A former pit boss reveals this tactic is specifically designed for intimidation. Casino security conducts formal interviews, reviews hours of footage, demands written statements, creates a hostile environment where winners feel accused of crimes. The psychological impact makes many players accept reduced settlements just to end the investigation. Documentation from gaming attorneys shows 8% of large slot payouts involve advantage play accusations, and the vast majority are completely unfounded. The way you fight this is refusing to make any statements without an attorney present, demanding the casino provide specific accusations in writing, and immediately filing a gaming commission complaint. Advantage play is not illegal even in games where it's actually possible, and it definitely doesn't apply to slot machines. Delay tactic number 9, the progressive malfunction delay. Now, you might be wondering if there's an even worse version of the malfunction excuse we discussed earlier, and unfortunately there is. For progressive jackpots specifically, the casino claims the meter was displaying an incorrect amount. David hit what appeared to be $234,000 on a megabucks progressive at a major Nevada property. He watched the meter climb over months of visits, saw it finally land on his machine, heard the sounds, felt the rush of winning a life-changing amount. Casino staff congratulated him, brought champagne, took promotional photos. Then came the call 2 days later. The casino claimed the progressive meter had been displaying the wrong amount due to a network synchronization error, and his actual win was $42,000. They offered him $5,000 as a goodwill payment for the confusion. This is where the technical explanation becomes important. Progressive meters are networked systems that communicate in real time with a central server. Multiple machines contribute to the same jackpot pool, and the displayed amount must be accurate across all linked units. These systems undergo continuous verification specifically because the amounts involved are substantial. True meter malfunctions are extraordinarily rare because progressive networks have redundant safeguards and constant monitoring. But gaming commission records reveal that casinos claim progressive malfunctions at a rate wildly disproportionate to actual technical failures. The documented malfunction rate for progressive meters is less than 0.3% of all progressive wins. Yet casinos invoke this excuse for approximately 15% of progressive jackpots over $100,000. The pattern is unmistakable and almost exclusively targets the largest wins. Former slot technicians confirm what's really happening. The casino's risk management division reviews every major progressive hit, and when they decide the amount is too large relative to recent contributions to the pool, they start looking for any technical irregularity they can classify as a malfunction. Maybe the meter updated 2 seconds slower than normal. Maybe one linked machine showed the amount 3 seconds after the others. These microsecond variations in network communication are normal system behavior, but casinos reclassify them as malfunctions when convenient. The legal landscape is particularly troubling here. Your courts have sided with casinos in approximately 60% of progressive malfunction disputes, largely because judges defer to technical expertise and that malfunction voids all pays disclaimer. But proper documentation can overcome this. The moment you see a progressive jackpot hit on your machine, photograph the meter display before touching anything. Capture the exact amount shown, video record if possible. Then immediately demand the casino preserve all meter verification logs, network communication records, and contribution data. Retain a gaming attorney within hours, not days, because progressive disputes often escalate to permanent voids rather than just delays. This is not a situation where patience and cooperation help you. The casino has already made the calculation that fighting costs them less than paying, and your only leverage is immediate legal action backed by irrefutable documentation of what the meter displayed. Delay tactic number 10, the underage gambling allegation. This delay tactic is so predatory that former casino managers say they felt sick implementing it. The casino suddenly claims you appeared underage when you won, despite having verified your age multiple times before you ever started gambling. Michelle was 34 years old when she hit $78,000 on Wheel of Fortune at a Midwest casino property. She'd presented her driver's license when entering the casino floor, shown it again when getting her player's card, and had it checked a third time when ordering alcohol from a cocktail server. But when she won, casino management claimed she looked young and needed additional age verification. They demanded her birth certificate, passport, and questioned her for 90 minutes about where she grew up and went to school. But consumer protection attorneys report this tactic almost exclusively targets women and Asian winners, who casino staff claim look younger than their actual age. The discrimination is blatant, and former compliance officers confirm certain demographics face disproportionate scrutiny. The casino demands birth certificates, sometimes multiple government-issued identifications, and creates an accusatory environment designed to make winners feel they've committed fraud. This delay typically lasts 10 to 15 days while the casino conducts their investigation into something they already verified before taking your money. The legal reality is straightforward. Age verification must occur before gambling is permitted, not after wins occur. Post-win age verification is bad faith, and Gaming Commission data shows underage allegations are cited in 5% of delayed payouts, but sustained in less than 0.1% of cases. The way you fight this is documenting every age verification that occurred before your jackpot, filing an age discrimination complaint with your state's Civil Rights Division, and demanding written explanation of why verification is suddenly necessary after the casino already confirmed your age multiple times. Most casino properties back down immediately when threatened with discrimination complaints because the publicity damages their license standing. Delay tactic number 11, the bet size violation claim. And if you thought the underage accusation was bad, this next one is even more technical and harder to fight because it involves terms and conditions nobody actually reads. The casino claims you were betting more than the maximum allowed on the machine, applying restrictions retroactively that you had no way of knowing existed. Robert won $156,000 on a high-limit Buffalo Diamond machine at a Las Vegas property. He'd been betting $100 per spin, which was well within the machine's stated limits of $25 to $125. But the casino delayed payment for 28 days, claiming he'd violated maximum bet restrictions. Here's where the manipulation gets truly insidious. Robert had used a free play promotional offer 3 days before his jackpot, a $50 bonus the casino had automatically loaded onto his player's card. That promotion had terms stating a maximum bet of $5 applied while using promotional funds. The casino claimed those restrictions applied to all his subsequent play, even though he'd cycled through the promotional money within an hour and had been playing with his own cash for 3 full days before hitting the jackpot. Former slot directors admit this is a common tactic when casino risk management wants to void or reduce large jackpots. They review weeks of your playing history, looking for any promotional offer you accepted, then claim the restrictions from that offer apply indefinitely to your play. The legal gray area exists because promotional terms and conditions are deliberately vague about duration and scope. Gaming attorneys report bet size violations are cited in 15% of delayed high limit payouts over $100,000, and the pattern is unmistakable. These violations are never caught in real time. The casino's system allows you to place the bets. The machine accepts your wagers, staff watches you play without intervention. But the moment you hit a substantial jackpot, suddenly the casino discovers you violated terms they never enforced during the thousands of spins where you were losing. The psychological trap is particularly effective because promotional terms and conditions run 40-plus pages of dense legal language. Most players have no idea what restrictions they agreed to, can't remember which promotions they've used over recent weeks, and have no way to prove they weren't still subject to some obscure limitation. Former compliance officers reveal the casino counts on this confusion, knowing winners feel trapped by the possibility they accidentally violated something buried in fine print they never read. Delay tactic number 12. The linked machine confusion delay. We're getting to the final two delay tactics, and these represent the worst trends in the modern casino industry because they exploit newer technology that most players don't understand. For linked progressive or community-style machines, the casino claims there's a system error determining which player actually won. Your four players were sitting at a linked Lightning Link Bank when the progressive bonus triggered for $89,000. All four had been betting simultaneously, their games connected through the community feature. The casino delayed payment to all four players for 17 days, claiming their system couldn't determine whose specific spin had triggered the progressive. This claim is completely false according to former slot technicians. Modern linked machines log every single spin with player tracking card data, precise timestamps down to the millisecond, and exact bet amounts. The casino always knows exactly who won, but the delay serves a different purpose. It allows them to pressure players into accepting a settlement split. In this case, casino management offered all four players $22,000 each, a total of $88,000 instead of the full $89,000. More importantly, they denied the rightful winner their full jackpot and convinced three players who hadn't won anything to accept money they weren't entitled to. The manipulation works because of group psychology. When four strangers are told they might all have equal claim to a jackpot, social pressure makes the actual winner reluctant to claim the full amount. Fear that refusing the split means nobody gets paid pushes all parties toward settlement. Documentation from consumer protection attorneys shows this tactic has increased 340% since 2019 as community slot games have become more popular across casino floors. Gaming commissions often encourage these negotiated settlements rather than conducting proper investigations, which means casinos face no consequences for deliberately creating confusion about wins their systems already verified. The machine logs are definitive and irrefutable, but casinos claim these logs are proprietary information and resist disclosure. And now for the final delay tactic on this list, and this one is so complex that several gaming attorneys told me it's the hardest to fight because it exploits jurisdictional gaps in gambling regulation. Delay tactic number 13. The jurisdiction confusion stall. The casino claims your win falls under different jurisdictional rules, creating regulatory uncertainty about which agency has authority to compel payment. This tactic is particularly common at tribal casinos, properties operating under interstate compacts, and newer venues that integrate online and retail gambling. Carmen won $203,000 at a tribal casino in Oklahoma. When she requested her payout, casino management claimed the National Indian Gaming Commission had jurisdiction over the dispute, not the Oklahoma Gaming Commission, and they needed to determine proper regulatory authority before processing payment. 47 days later, Carmen was still waiting while various agencies argued about whose responsibility it was to investigate. The complexity is real in some cases because tribal casinos do operate under federal Indian Gaming Regulatory Act provisions and tribal state compacts rather than purely state law. But consumer protection lawyers report casinos deliberately weaponize this complexity to create regulatory gaps where no agency takes responsibility. The casino told Carmen to contact the National Indian Gaming Commission. That federal agency said tribal gaming commissions handle individual payout disputes. The Tribal Gaming Commission claimed the progressive jackpot was managed by a Nevada-based company, so Nevada Gaming Control Board rules applied. Nevada said they had no jurisdiction over an Oklahoma property. Carmen contacted the Oklahoma Attorney General, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and her congressional representative. Everyone pointed her somewhere else. The runaround is entirely intentional, according to former tribal casino executives. Properties operating in jurisdictional gray areas exploit the confusion specifically for large wins they want to avoid paying. Jurisdiction delays average 35 to 60 days, but the longest documented case took 127 days before the player finally received payment. The way you fight this is filing formal complaints with every potentially relevant agency simultaneously. Contact your state gaming commission, tribal gaming commission, the National Indian Gaming Commission, your state attorney general, and the Federal Trade Commission all on the same day. Hire a gaming attorney who has specific experience with tribal gaming law, because general gaming attorneys often don't understand the jurisdictional framework. Contact local media outlets because negative publicity sometimes forces regulatory agencies to take action they'd otherwise avoid. Document every single agency contact, every response or non-response, every attempt to determine jurisdiction. Now that you know all 13 delay tactics, here's what former casino managers say. You absolutely must do the moment you hit any jackpot over $10,000. Because casinos start planning their delay strategy within 60 seconds of your win. And your actions in those first few minutes determine whether you'll face weeks of frustration or receive your money promptly. The universal fighting strategy starts at the exact moment you see those jackpot symbols line up on your screen. Before you celebrate, before you call anyone over, before you even stand up from your chair, pull out your phone and photograph the machine screen showing your win amount. Capture the progressive meter if your jackpot involves a linked progressive. Record video of the machine display if possible, making sure the footage clearly shows the denomination, game title, and win amount. These first 30 seconds of documentation are your most powerful legal protection because casinos cannot dispute photographic evidence you created before they arrived. The moment you've secured that documentation, press the service button and do not touch anything else on that machine. When the slot attendant arrives, immediately request a supervisor as well. You want multiple casino employees present from the very beginning. Write down the names and employee identification numbers of everyone who responds to your machine. Note the exact time using your phone's timestamp. Listen carefully to every statement casino staff makes, and if possible, record the conversation on your phone. Many states allow single-party consent recording, which means you can legally record conversations you're part of without informing the other person. But if casino staff says anything like we need to verify this or there might be a problem with the machine, those statements become critical evidence later. Request a written win verification document before signing anything the casino presents. Most properties have you sign tax forms or jackpot acknowledgement paperwork, but you should receive documentation that the casino confirms your win before you provide your signature on their forms. Within the first 24 hours, a high escalation becomes necessary if the casino indicates any delay beyond immediate payment for wins under $25,000 or beyond 24 hours for wins requiring checks. The moment you hear words like verification process or a paperwork review or technical inspection, request a written explanation specifying the exact reason for delay and the estimated timeline for payment. Refuse to accept verbal explanations. Every communication about your delayed jackpot must be documented in writing, and you should follow up every conversation with an email to casino management summarizing what was discussed and requesting confirmation. File a formal complaint with your state gaming commission within 24 hours of any indicated delay, even if the casino is telling you everything will be resolved soon. Gaming commissions can take weeks to respond to complaints, so you need that complaint on record immediately. Contact the casino host or player development department because these staff members have direct connections to casino executives and often can expedite payments when lower level management is stalling. Send an email directly to the casino general manager, documenting your win and requesting an immediate timeline for payment. Search the casino's website for executive contact information and use it. Here's what former casino executives reveal about publicity leverage. Casinos fear negative publicity more than gaming commission complaints because bad press affects their license renewals, future development projects, and reputation with regulators. Social media becomes your weapon. Post about your delayed payout on the casino's Facebook page, Twitter account, and Instagram. Use specific phrasing like "still waiting for my verified jackpot payment" or "casino confirmed my win," but won't provide payment timeline. Tag your state gaming commission and consumer protection agencies in these posts. Stay completely factual in your statements. Never make threats or exaggerations because anything you post becomes evidence if the dispute escalates to litigation. While to contact consumer protection reporters at local news stations because many television outlets have investigative segments that specifically cover casino disputes. A single news story about your delayed jackpot often results in immediate payment because casinos cannot afford the publicity damage. Post detailed reviews on TripAdvisor, Google Reviews, and casino-specific review sites, explaining the delay situation factually and including the timeline of events. The legal pathway begins when delays extend beyond 48 hours for wins over $50,000, or when the casino makes any malfunction accusation or advantage play allegation or offers to settle for less than your full jackpot amount. Gaming attorneys understand regulatory frameworks and have established relationships with gaming commission investigators, which means they can often resolve disputes through a single phone call that would take you weeks of formal complaints to achieve. Many gaming attorneys work on contingency fee arrangements, typically 33 to 40% of your recovery for large jackpots, which means you pay nothing up front, and the attorney only gets paid if you receive your money. This arrangement aligns the attorney's incentives with yours. Former casino managers confirm that players who immediately escalate disputes, document everything obsessively, and involve gaming commissions receive payment within 14 days in 78% of cases, compared to only 45% for passive players who wait patiently and trust casino assurances. The casino performs a cost-benefit calculation on every disputed jackpot, weighing the expense of fighting your claim against simply paying what they owe. When you demonstrate organized resistance through documentation, regulatory complaints, publicity, and legal representation, you dramatically increase the cost of fighting, which pushes the casino toward payment. You earned this win fairly. The casino has both legal and ethical obligations to pay you promptly, and every delay tactic they employ is specifically designed to make you give up or accept less than you're owed. Documentation and immediate escalation are your most powerful weapons in this fight.